What's the one thing that I need to do that will help me achieve all of my goals? Is there one thing? And the experts, the motivational gurus, the personal development superstars all have lots of ideas on how to become successful, how to achieve all of your goals. But I've always got this very personal question. It's a tough question, but it was asked of me a very long time ago, and I use it all the time. If I haven't achieved a goal, if I'm not doing what I want to do, if something's not happening fast enough, if I've got something that has to happen and it hasn't happened yet, I always take responsibility for that with this question. What do I need to change, do differently, give up, or do so that I can achieve my goal? Even more personal question. If I ask very honestly, what is the one thing that's stopping me from doing this? And I give myself an honest answer. And that's the really important part of this, because it's really easy to be delusional. It's easy to kid ourselves. It's easy to lie to ourselves. It's easy to blame other people. And it's really easy to justify. Have you noticed? But if you're very honest with yourself and you say, what is the one thing that's stopping me from achieving whatever it is that I want to achieve? Now, if you're living, and I always use these 4 things because this is what Romax is all about. This is what my study every day is all about. How to be healthy, fit and strong for the rest of your life. How to have a career or business that you love. How to be financially free, and how to attract great people into your life. Have great relationships, especially the relationship that you have with yourself. So if you ask this one question about those 4 things, so if I'm not as healthy, fit and strong as I need to be, what do I need to change? What am I doing that's stopping me from being healthy, fit and strong? And it's a very personal question. It can be very confrontational. But if you're being honest with yourself, I'm sure you'll come up with the right answer. Am I procrastinating? Am I lazy? Am I lacking discipline? Am I choosing to be weak and unfit rather than healthy, fit and strong? If you ask that very personal question, if you don't have a career or business that you love, what do I need to do or stop doing or change to make sure that I don't wake up every day going to a lousy, stinking, rotten job that I don't like? What am I doing personally that's holding me back? And I'll go to the personal question and dig a little deeper, because it's hard to ask the question, but it is the question. What am I doing that's stopping me? Not what are other people doing? Who can I blame? But what am I doing that's stopping me from achieving my goal, to be healthy, fit and strong, to have a career or business that I love? If you're not financially free, or if you're not on track to being financially free, financially secure, if you are having challenges with money, you don't have enough money, what am I doing that's stopping me from being financially free? What am I doing? Not the government, not my family, not my boss. What am I doing? And then the last one, the relationships, which are a little bit more complicated because we don't have control about what or other people do what they're going to do. But we have full control over who we choose to have in our life. So if we have terrible relationships, disrespectful relationships, relationships that aren't making us happy, could that be the most important question? What am I doing, or what do I have to do to make sure that I only have respectful people in my life? Is there something that I'm doing that's attracting these disrespectful people into my inner circle, and do I need to stop doing it? And it's a hard question to ask. It's easy to answer because I think we know the answer. But to ask the question can feel very uncomfortable, very awkward. It can be embarrassing. You don't ask anybody else, of course. Just ask yourself. What am I doing that's stopping me from being healthy, fit and strong? What am I doing that's stopping me from having a career or business that I love? What am I doing that's stopping me from being financially free? What am I doing that's attracting disrespectful people into my life? And if we take full responsibility for everything that happens to us, all the decisions that we make, and I always use this example because, again, it was given to me as a special gift a very long time ago. I was 18 years of age. I was managing a health club in Sydney in Australia, and I had a top-level psychiatrist who was coming to my health club. And the suggestion was this: on a mental health scale, 0 on the mental health scale is I'm blaming everybody else. Very difficult to be mentally healthy when everything that happens to you is somebody else's fault. 100% mentally healthy is when you take full responsibility for your life, for all the choices that you make, for all the decisions that you make, which means there's nobody to blame. you have to take responsibility. And obviously that's a continuum, so that's 0 to 10 scale. So sometimes you might blame other people and sometimes you take responsibility. But the suggestion was given to me, Rowie, if you want to be mentally healthy, tough and strong, you have to take responsibility for everything that happens to you. Now, I'll use a simple example. If I get wet because it's raining, I didn't take an umbrella. If I'm thinking clearly, or if I'm thinking mentally healthy, I plan for every situation. Or if I get wet when it's raining, I don't blame the rain, bloody rain, why did I get wet? I need to take responsibility for that and say, I didn't bring an umbrella. Now that's just a simple example of that. But let's use the big one, being healthy, fit and strong. If I ate it, then I have to take responsibility for the fact that I ate it. If I didn't do it, I have to take responsibility for I didn't do the exercise, I didn't do the training, I didn't get puffed, I didn't lift heavy, that's why I'm weak and unfit rather than fit and strong. I can blame the weather, it's too hot or too cold. I can blame my boss, they keep me too busy. I can blame my family, I'm so busy looking after my family that I don't look after myself. See, all justifications and excuses for not doing. But if I'm honest with myself and I say, why am I unfit and why am I out of shape and why am I unhealthy and why am I weak mentally, physically, what do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing? What do I need to take responsibility for instead of blaming other people? And I'll share again, when I did this the first time, it was very uncomfortable. I was very happy to blame everybody else. But I've lived on the planet a very long time now. I've worked with lots of people who are blaming and justifying. And my simple question is this: where does blame and justification get us? Do you feel better when you blame somebody else? Or if you take responsibility for every part of your life, you fix it, change it, make it better, and do the things that you want to do, how do you feel then? And that's something I'd like to share with you very personally. This was a very young situation for me. I was overweight, buck teeth, pimples on my face, very out of shape little girl at 10 years of age. And somebody told me that I was fat. And I found that to be the truth. I didn't blame, I didn't justify, I didn't get angry with them for being nasty or mean to me. I just said, well, look in the mirror, Rowie, you are fat. So I started exercising. And that's when I was 10 years of age. I'm now a very old lady, 6 decades later, and I'm fit and strong and healthier than I've ever been in my entire life, than when I was 20, 30, 40, 50. And I'm sharing that with you because when you take responsibility for your own health, it's awesome. I use an example for that. If I get a cold or a runny nose or a sore throat or an injury, I don't blame the virus. I don't blame that I was out in the cold and the rain. That's the most ridiculous excuse for getting a cold, because you don't get a cold because you went in the rain, of course. I take responsibility that there's something wrong with my immune system. I'm not fit enough and strong enough to fight this germ, bug or virus or disease, or I did something to get this injury. I have to take responsibility for that, not blame somebody else. Now, I'm just sharing with you my life, and I'm doing that for a very specific reason. Because a lot of people share with me that, number one, they think I'm lucky, or number two, I'm fanatical, disciplined, crazy. What you do with your life, Rowie, is just nobody can do that. It's unrealistic. But I'm living a life of a healthy, fit, strong woman, as I shared, fitter and stronger than I've ever been in my entire life. I just made the decision to stop procrastinating, stop blaming other people, take full responsibility for my life, and now I get to be healthy, fit and strong and happy every single day of my life. Now, I'll use happiness. It's a bit airy-fairy, and I'm very careful with the word because a lot of people go, oh yeah, motivational, rah-rah. But if I ask you a question, what is your number one goal? Whatever your goal is, the outcome of that goal is for you to feel satisfied or happy. Would that be fair? The psychologists and psychiatrists don't like to use the word happy. They just say a feeling of satisfaction, of love in your life. So if you want to feel satisfied, if you want to be happy, is that a choice? And I always go back to, and this, if you come to Romax every day, this may be starting to sound very familiar, and I hope it is. I get to choose my brain chemistry, and so do you. Isn't that awesome? Every antidepressant drug on the planet is designed to change your brain chemistry so that you feel better, that you feel happier, that you feel satisfied. Isn't it awesome that when you get puffed and when you lift heavy, or a combination of both, so 100% intense burst of activity changes your brain chemistry. The simple act of producing epinephrine, adrenaline and cortisol, the 100% phosphate flight and fight system, the stay alive system, my body's under threat, I've got to get the hell out of there, I've got to turn and fight. That simple phosphate system, 10 seconds, everything goes into overdrive at 100% effort, everything you don't need shuts off, and your brain goes into I need to survive mode, I need to stay alive. Now that is a beautiful system because the human body's designed to stay alive, yeah? But the reverse back, or the kickback of that, the reverse of that is after I've recovered from my 100% burst of activity, now my body and my brain says, hey, dopamine, reward neurotransmitter, congratulations, you overcame the threat. You're going to feel good, you're going to feel rewarded. Wow, congratulations. Serotonin, neurotransmitter that makes you feel satisfied with your life. Both of those are chemicals that the pharmaceutical companies are trying to put into a plastic pill, but you and I can produce both of those in 10 seconds of fight and flight activity, intense bursts of 100% effort. So I can take full responsibility now for every part of my life because I can fix my brain chemistry. A lazy brain is the one that blames other people. A fit, strong, mentally tough brain, according to my psychiatrist, remember, is that I take full responsibility for everything that happens to me. When I've got a fit, strong brain, mentally tough, full of serotonin, dopamine, brain-derived neurotropic factor is the best one because that's the fertilizer that fixes everything in your brain, makes everything in your brain work more effectively. And most importantly, the neuroplasticity that it produces. So you can think differently. Neurogenesis is drop off old brain cells, grow new ones. Whatever's going on in your life, if you need to make changes, if you be honest with yourself and you say, the reason that I'm out of shape, unfit, overweight, the reason that I have a career or business that I don't like, the reason that I'm broken, the reason that I have crappy, shitty relationships, I have to take responsibility for that. That's a strong brain that does that. But a strong brain is also capable, a creative brain, a brain full of brain-derived neurotropic factor that can think clearly, creatively, come up with solutions, be an optimistic solution finder, can now work all of that out. So when I'm honest with myself and I say, the reason I'm in this situation is because I decided to be, or I'm in here because I have to make some changes, now I've got a brain that can make those changes with competence, with bravery, with courage, with a brain that works. And that comes from getting puffed, lifting heavy, combination of both. Fight and flight. Then we go into positive neurotransmitting brain that says dopamine reward system, serotonin satisfaction system. Endorphins are the painkillers that get us through it all and make us feel good at the end of the intense burst. And then brain-derived neurotropic factor. So here's my very personal and very straight down the line, controversial, confronting, honest question. If you're not healthy, fit and strong, if you don't have a career or business that you love, if you're not financially free, and if you don't have great relationships, one or all of those, is it time to make a change? And here's that confronting question. What do I need to do to change? What am I doing that's stopping me from achieving all of those things? And you will come up with the answer. The really interesting one for that is, because I've been a personal exercise coach for so long, I don't tell people what to do, and I would find that to be irresponsible and disrespectful to do that, so don't do that. But I ask this question. If you're out of shape, if you're unfit, if you're weak, if you don't like the way you look and the way you feel, how did you get there? Be honest with yourself and say, how did my body get in this position? So then reverse it. It's what do you need to do? If you were healthy, fit and strong and now you're not, what do you need to do to get back to being healthy, fit and strong? If you don't love yourself, if you've got low self-esteem, if your body is unfit and out of shape, what did you do to get there? Now, if you've always been that way and you can't remember ever being healthy, fit and strong, having a high self-esteem and being in great shape, maybe that's where you have to study some of the people that are. What are they doing differently that you're not? Which then gives you the answer to, what do I have to do? What do I have to change? What do I have to do differently to achieve the goals that I want to achieve? So there's the question. What do I need to do? Not the other people, not the government, not my family, not blame somebody else, not justify. What do I need to do to be healthy, fit and strong, have a career or business that I love, be financially free and have great people in my life? Because isn't that living life to the max? And if you want to live your life like that to the max, I'm a living, breathing example of that. I had to answer all of those horrible, confronting, ugly questions. I answered them, I made changes, and I can live my life now as a healthy, fit, strong human being who loves my life. I have a career that I'm proud of, and I am here every day to share that with you. I want everybody to be healthy, fit, and strong, have a career or business that they love, be financially free, and have great people in their life. And that's what I do. That's my career path. Analysing, researching and studying how to do that. So I can be here every day to share that with you. Thank you for coming to Romax. My name's Rowie, and my goal is that you live your life to the max. So you can sing this little happy song every single day. Super duper doo, how are you? I'm sure you are amazing. I'm amazing, happy, healthy, fit and strong, and love my life, and you can too. Woohoo!